They also are the #1 rushing team in the SWAC, and as you can see, they're dancing and they're ready for action tonight.
Hey, when you're in Baton Rouge, right, they're always dancing, ready to go. And again, hey, I'm going to give props to the yellow jerseys. I'm digging it. For one, we can see the numbers nice and clean. I like that. When they wear their powder blues, it's a little bit hard, but that #1 rushing, it starts with that offensive line. They can certainly impose their will. And they plan on Jatari Carter, their offensive lineman, is kind of their big leader on the line.
And we talked about Willie Simmons just a minute ago. You know, his team's still in the hunt for that SWAC championship. Of course, they're a game behind Jackson State in the East, but you know he's also eyeing the FCS playoffs. So there's a possibility if he can't win that SWAC championship, they still could end up in the playoffs, and he's looking forward to that. Of course, he's a coach who's been successful everywhere he's been, and now he's getting it done with the Rattlers, and they will get the football first to get this game underway. A short kick. It's fielded right at the 25, and the young man slipped down on the return, so that is where Florida A&M will go on offense first.
He ran right out of his shoes, Butch. I'll tell you, that's explosiveness. If you could just, their first steps right out of your shoe.
You've heard people doing it before, but we actually got to see it there. He ran right out of his shoes there. Of course, Southern on defense is led by Jordan Lewis, number 32. He's a big defensive end. And Ray Anderson, number 41. Keep your eye on him. He's a linebacker. He was also the SWAC Defensive Player of the Week, so we will expect him to be very active tonight. On offense, Rashawn McKay is the quarterback for the Rattlers. He's a big guy, 6'2", 220 pounds, out of Miami, Florida. And he's going to start the ball game off with a pass under pressure, shakes away and completes his pass over the middle. Nice shot right there to number 10, Jamarie Shareed. Of course, we had the Rattlers a couple of weeks ago, and Shareed had a really nice game for them.
Man, he finds a way to get open. And again, it's a huge art to be able to get yourself open, figure out where your pattern is. A lot of these patterns nowadays, these receivers have two routes, right? They can break off or take it up, and he does a nice job of always coming back, and then when the ball's thrown, usually comes back to his quarterback.
1st and 10 for the Rattlers here. They put the tight end in motion. That's Kamari Young, number 81. McKay looking to throw again, fires it underneath, has Jennings, and he's going to be spun down right there. You know, the thing about McKay, he's a baseball player by trade. Not really a ton of football experience. Didn't really start until he was a senior in high school. Now here he is in college, so he's improving game after game.
Yeah, he's still growing over and over, and I'll tell you right now, Tyron Nash is getting some serious pressure from the Jaguars. It's just 2 plays, and he has been right in his face each time coming off that edge.
2nd down and 6 now for the Rattlers. McKay will throw it again. And this time he will not get away. The ball is loose. A mad scramble for the ball. It looks like Jennings may have gotten on it to save it for Florida A&M. Actually, it's McKay who recovered his own fumble, but a lot of good pressure there by the Jaguars, and he's going to be dropped for a loss.
Yeah, I think it was Marlon Young. Marlon Young who was helping come in there with the defensive pressure. But again, 3 plays each time, tons of pressure from the Jaguars defensive line.
Last week versus Grambling, you saw he had 204 yards passing, but this is a huge 3rd and 17 from McKay and the Rattlers. He has number 1, Bishop Bonnet, in the backfield to his left. Bonnet, of course, has a lot of speed. McKay with some time, looks downfield, has a man, and he throws a perfect strike, and that is a completed pass to Xavier Smith. Smith hauls it in, and that is a 1st down for the Rattlers. So they come straight out of the box with 2 first downs on this drive.
Yeah, great protection this time, and again, puts it right on target, in between the numbers and that sidelines. Good pattern, great execution.
Jacoby Jones was covering on that play for Southern. First and 10 for McKay. He fires it again. Has a man all by himself. It's Shareed. One man to beat. Cuts inside. He's gone. Take it to the house. A touchdown for Jamarie Shareed on a beautiful throw from Rashawn McKay.
Man, I'll tell you what. you get open on this, that is just wide open. And how do you let him get open? And once he got that open, you have to know that he is going to take it to the house. You give him that much room. And again, obviously somebody busted coverage here. And that little bitty move right there, no,
Well, he knew he had it the whole way.
Exactly,
I mean, he was like, you're not really going to come here and try to tackle me, are you? So he gets the big play chain on the sideline, at least for a little bit anyway.
Yeah, they take him and give him back. I don't know like that.
The extra point attempt is up, and it is good by Jose Romo Martinez. And just like that, the Rattlers got the first sting. Florida A&M out front, 7-0. We are early in Baton Rouge. Welcome back, everyone. The Rattlers have just completed a big drive down for a touchdown to open the ball game, a 48-yard pass. Let's take a look at it right here. McKay to Shareed.
Just busted coverage. You can't say anything. Somebody was not where they're supposed to be. And again, they're going to make you pay. Perfect strike. I mean, that was – if you're a Rattler fan, you love seeing that.
So Florida A&M will kick it off to the Jaguars as they get their first attempt on offense. That is Ladarius Skelton taking a knee in the end zone. And a couple of words exchanged there. Hey, how are you doing? I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Just enjoying the heck out of this as they come to the sidelines.
Well, you're an interpreter now. I didn't realize that.
Many skills, many skills.
Ah, okay.
Bubba McDaniel making the start again for the Southern Jaguars at quarterback, a 6'2", 200-pounder from Dothan, Alabama. Of course, with McDaniel moving the quarterback, that allows Skelton to play a lot of other positions. We'll see him at running back. We'll see him at wide receiver. We'll see him in a lot of places. And they start with the run to Devon Ben. And Devon Ben is thrown back inside. Good defense. Savion Williams, number 0, right in the middle of that crowd to knock him back.
Well, I'll tell you, you're a lip reader and mind reader there. I can tell you, just that one play, the intensity between the offensive line of Southern and the defensive line of the Rattlers is intense. And I can tell you, you can tell that Rattlers defense is like, oh, you think you guys are number 1, right, rushing? We're going to stop you. You got to come through me.
2nd down and 8 for McDaniel. Lots of time. Fires underneath. A little contact on Ben, but no flag on the play. He was actually trying to get that one to Marquise McLean as he came across the middle, and he will go out of the game for at least one play. So the Jaguars are now looking at a big 3rd to go to continue this drive. We have 11:25 to go here in the first quarter. McDaniel with an empty backfield. Lots of time again, throws it, and it's incomplete. He just could not find anybody. He had time in the pocket, looked around, and could not complete the pass. His intended receiver downfield was number 83, Gregory Perkins. But the Jaguars will have to punt the football away, so that'll give us our first look at Martel Fontenot tonight.
Yeah, that's not the start the Jaguars wanted offensively. I mean, when you've got to get someone open, you've got to have someone that you can dump the ball off to, and right there they just did not have it.
So back to return the kick, Jamarie Shareed, the young man who just scored the touchdown. He's got some wheels. And the kick from Fontenot. And Shareed is just getting away from it. It's a short kick. And let's see, it might have been touched by a Rattler and then recovered by the Jaguars. And the officials say yes. So the kick by Fontenot did not go very far, but look what happened as we take another look. It actually hit one of the Rattlers, and the Jaguars came down and made a big recovery.
That's one of those things you're trying to block, right? You're trying to do to work on the blocking, and then the ball hits you right at the feet. That is a tough one because you're just trying to do your job, and the punt was so short that it actually wound up hitting him. And now the Jaguars, that's their big offensive play they were looking for right there, basically, and now they're back in business.
It looked like number 59, Arian Hartman, came up with the recovery for Southern. And so just like that, the Jags have the football back, and they're on the move, this time in great field position after the turnover. So McDaniel will set to throw it again. Has a man by himself, and he just let him a little too long. Was trying to get that pass to Jamar Washington, but the little guy could not catch up to it. But I'll tell you what, he was all by himself.
I love the play. They stacked it big. It was a really big lineup, right? They had big tight ends in there, and then they just went for the pass. Good play action. Everyone sucked up, and therefore they had the open pass. He's just got to be more accurate.
McDaniel this time with Ben to his right. McDaniel fires near the sidelines. It is complete. Nice catch by the Jaguars, number 17. That is Khalif Gossett. And then he steps out of bounds. It's going to be just shy of a first down. It's going to bring up a 3rd and short for Southern University. So they want to cash in on the turnover here and not let the drive stall after getting such great field position. 3rd and 4 now to keep the drive moving. Bubba McDaniel again. He's had time. Has it again. This time he scrambles out of the pocket's going to run and pick up the first down. So a nice job by Bubba McDaniel to get the first down for the Jags.
Very smart decision there, right? I mean, they need a first down. They need to get some rhythm offensively. They need something to happen. And he saw he could get it and went out and got it.
This time they go back on the ground. It's Devon Ben. Look at him picking up the tough yardage inside. That's what he does best. Devon Ben, who's a 5'9", 200-pound redshirt senior out of New Orleans, went to John Curtis High School in New Orleans. I mean, they can turn out some football players there.
They sure can.
So that'll make it 2nd and 6 after he picks up 4. And McDaniel, with great protection, goes underneath to Ben, and he's going to have another first down for Southern. Southern University tonight in the yellow jerseys with the blue numbers. Ball resting right on the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 with the Jags in the red zone or the go zone, whatever you prefer. McDaniel turns, hands it to Ben, and Ben has some room before he's tripped up right at the 10-yard line. So that's a quick 5 by Devon Ben.
I'll tell you, you look at 3 plays for the Jaguars, it looks like their offense just can't do anything right. You get a turnover, a misstep, suddenly it brings new life. They feel like they got new chance, and now this offense looks like they have a rhythm, and they're moving down the field. They're getting more inside in the running game, and the passing game starting to open up.
Ben has it this time, and he has no place to go as the Rattlers just closed up that gap really quickly. Richard Summers, one of the guys there to help push him back in the backfield. So that will bring up a key 3rd down on the drive for Bubba McDaniel and the offense. Southern going very quickly now. They've picked up the tempo. You see McDaniel operating out of an empty backfield. Stands, throws underneath, completes his pass. That is a good catch right there by Jamar Washington.
I like where they're using Jamar Washington. You see this the second time they put him. They missed him the first time, but I think he's a guy you want to get in open field.
And that one good enough for the first down. So the Jags are now looking at a 1st and goal with the football resting on just inside of the 5-yard line. Let's call it the 5. 1st and goal to go for the Jaguars. And we have a whistle and a timeout on the field. Timeout for the Rattlers. So there might have been something about that formation that they were not ready for, and they wanted to talk about it.
I just think it's, for the Rattlers, I think it's one of those things they just feel like they're on their heels, right? And I mean, this is, it's early in the game, no question about it, right? But try to hold them to a field goal, right? I think that's where the coach's staff sits in there and goes, hey, guys, do you aware what's going on? Here's what we see. They probably see a couple of key moments there that they want to address with their defensive team, get them back, reset them, and send them back out there.
This is a very talented Southern team, and when you see the keys to the game for Southern, get pressure on McKay, control the line of scrimmage, and continue the momentum. Well, that's what they're trying to do right now, continue their momentum.
Well, they gained momentum right off that turnover. I mentioned that a minute ago, so they found momentum. They got to be able to keep it, and, of course, the line of scrimmage, that helps everything with that run game, and get pressure on McKay. When you get pressure on a quarterback, that will help you in so many ways, create turnovers, and also just not let another offense get in the rhythm.
1st and 5 for a Southern touchdown. McDaniel looking to pass. Wide open in the end zone is his big tight end. That is number 86, Ethan Howard, and the Jaguars are on the board with a touchdown. What about the patience Bubba McDaniel showed on that play, waiting for Howard to clear?
Yeah, and he watched him right there. He wanted to throw the trigger right there. The defensive line were jumping up, and he wasn't quite sure he was open. Did that little pump, and then he came free and drilled it right in there.
Derek Mayweather was right in the line of fire, and he waited for his big tight end to clear and then hit him right in the numbers for the touchdown. So Luke Jackson comes in to add the extra point, the hero from last week. He had a 47-yarder to win the game. A great start. Wait till you see the halftime show.
Oh, yeah, no, that's...
So kicking off is Joshua Griffin. And the Rattlers on the return. Shareed crosses the 20, finally taken down around the 22-yard line. So that is where they will go on offense. They had a pretty nice drive first time they had the football.
Yeah, they did. They did. And I mean, then their defense came out, got a 3-and-out. Then you had the turnover. And then all of a sudden the Jaguars got new life, and they started getting some real spirit. So let's see if that, in turn, gets the Jaguars defense fired up. And where they're at, because you're right, the Rattlers really dominated down the line of scrimmage, pretty much could do whatever they wanted to in that first drive.
So the ball resting on the 22-yard line. That is where the Rattlers will go 1st and 10. Shareed goes in motion on the jet read. Shareed trying to turn the corner, can't do it. Now he finds some room inside. Nice job. Chase Foster on the stop for the Jags, but Shareed, he's a little guy, but I tell you what, he's quick and he can make it happen.
Yeah, watch this little move right here, right there. I mean, he just backed up, and I thought, well, he's going to get creamed, and no, he just stops, then accelerates, finds that little gap as his guys are running through.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a loss on the play, but he turned it into something. Gain of 2. Second down coming up. McKay fires near the sidelines, and he threw that one behind his intended receiver, Chad Hunter. Hunter had to reach back and low behind him. Could not come up with that catch, so it's going to bring up a big 3rd down.
I'm not sure if he adjusted his pass when he was getting ready to throw it, because there was a corner coming right off that side there. And I think he was trying to throw it around that corner so it didn't get knocked down to the ground. That may have been the reason for the inaccuracy on that throw.
So 3rd and about 7 now for the Rattlers to keep the drive going. Keep your eyes on the bottom of the screen. Number 32, Jordan Lewis, in the game, and he can rush the passer. The guy is just fantastic at just getting out of the gates, getting in the backfield. He has a great first step. That's him at the bottom of the line for Southern, number 32. This time, pressure was on, and the pass from McKay will go incomplete. The receiver wanted the call. Chad Hunter was trying to get interference on the play, but that's going to bring up 4th down. And the Rattlers will have to kick the football away.
Yeah, it looks like Lewis, maybe they're playing him in situational right now. He's had some injuries that just keep reoccurring for him. He is a special player, and maybe that's the way they're bringing him back this time, and kind of situational, bring him in so that way when he's there he can be effective, but don't get him beat up in the process.
Jose Romo Martinez doing double duty tonight. He's punting also, besides handling the field goal kicking duties. Kicks it deep, and the fair catch is made by Chandler Whitfield. And that will be where Southern will have the football when we come back. We're tied at 7 in Baton Rouge. I still haven't gotten anything here, man.
On what?
Just that last drive. Let me check down here. No, it doesn't say here either. The last time the Jaguars had the football, Jason Rollins watched his team go 40 yards in 10 plays. Took them 3 minutes and 31 seconds before they completed the 5-yard TD pass from McDaniel to Ethan Howard. And here come the Jags again. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. And the give inside goes to Gerard Sims. He's a young man coming into this game. He had some ankle issues to work with, but apparently he was able to answer the bell. So the 6', 200-pound sophomore gets his first carry of the night.
And again, nice hole there, and he just cuts and moves.
Yeah, he's another tough downhill runner. This time he fakes the handoff, and he keeps it. And McDaniel is going to pick up the first down. So he did a great job on the fake. Carried it out, even got our camera guy for a second. Cat as he went around the right side, and Bubba McDaniel picked up the first down for Southern University.
Yeah, when you really ride that in there, I mean, it makes a big difference. That defense has to go ahead.
So a big first down for Southern University. This time the fake goes to Sims. Then he throws it back to Sims. He could not beat the guy in the flat, though, and he's going to be swung down there after the short gain. So a big play. The defense responded in a hurry. Nadarius Fagan making the stop for the Rattlers. As you can see right there, a night fake to Sims, and then he throws it right back to Sims. But on the other side, the Rattlers weren't going to have it. Courtney Cox got there first, and then Nadarius Fagan came on to clean it up after that. So a short gain on first down. Gain of about 6. So it'll bring up a 2nd and 4 for the Jags. McDaniel looks to the sideline to get his play. Doing a great job handling the football and faking with it. This time he gives it inside, and that is Craig Nelson with his first carry of the night. And the Jaguars, even without Kobe Dillon tonight, who's out with an ankle injury, they have 3 outstanding backs, and you're getting a glimpse right now of why they lead the SWAC in rushing. Devon Ben can carry the mail. Gerard Sims, we've seen him, and now Craig Nelson is in there. So they have a stable of running backs.
Yeah, you got to give credit to that offensive line. They just did a monstrous job. Whoever gets that back, and look right here. I mean, you got that line just creating great gaps in here. He's wanting to eat.
Yeah, I'm not sure that wasn't a busted play, but watch McDaniel here. Good job, Fig. He ran the option. It was option all the way to number 21, Craig Nelson.
Either that or he thought he was coming in that B gap between the guard and tackle on a regular thing, and then he said, oh, well, he's out there. Let me pitch it to him.
Either way, it worked for a first down for Southern University. This time, nice fake by McDaniel. Pressure, but he sidesteps it, throws down, and he has Craig Nelson for the touchdown. A beautiful pass, but it was all set up on the fake by McDaniel in the backfield.
When you get running that gets that effective, the defense starts to come in. You get safeties that get in, linebackers start. They have to wait. They can't get back, and it creates huge gaps and seams. And again, you know, Craig Nelson came on, got his first couple runs, and boom, winds up in the end zone with a pass.
Yeah, but you got to give so much credit to McDaniel.
Yes.
One of the defenders had a clean shot on him. We do have a flag on the play. We'll see what that is. Our referee for the night, Y.N. Myers. And they're going to bring the football back. So the Jaguars, that's going to be a costly penalty for the Jaguars. They're going to make it 1st and 20 after the holding call. So the handoff on the end around to Chandler Whitfield, and he got a big chunk of it right back. So just like that, they go to the jet sweep, and Whitfield just picks up that penalty yardage right back.
Yeah, great job there. He can't get the touchdown back, but he got a lot back there. And I have to tell you, the number 88 and 82 for the Jaguars, I mean, they just did some great blocking right there. Travis O'Connor and Travis Tucker really created the seams there for him to get the yardage there.
You know, we saw the touchdown was taken off the board, but what you got to see on that touchdown play, not only how much does McDaniel understand the offense, because that's what Coach Rollins was just raving about, but his calmness under pressure. He just sidestepped that guy. He had an open defender coming at him. He just sidestepped him and delivered that ball.
Yeah, 3 different times already in this game, he is, you know, I would consider dead to rights, right? You thought, okay, he is getting killed, and he just really has a great presence, and I think you hit it on the head. He's calm with the ball and does nice little side steps. He's not trying to run it all the time, but he gets just enough out of the way where he can connect and make his connection with his receiver.
A quick look at the SWAC standings as we speak. 5-0 Jackson State over in the Eastern Division. Florida A&M right behind them at 4-1, and then over in the West, Prairie View A&M 5-0, and then Alcorn breathing right down their heels, but this was coming into today.
Right, well, both Prairie View A&M and Jackson State took care of their business right on the top. So there's no question about that. So and then you got Florida A&M. We'll see if they handle their business right here today.
Yeah, Jackson State took on Texas Southern in Jackson, and they ended up winning the ball game. It was Texas Southern had them. It was 21-21 at one time before Jackson State got it together, and they go on to win it. The final score in that one was Texas Southern, Jackson State 41, Texas Southern 21. We'll get the scoreboard up for you in just a minute. And 2nd and 9 for the Jags. McDaniel dumps it underneath, completes the pass, goes to Devon Ben, who can do it all for the Jaguars. And Ben, what a big run. It's all the way down inside the 10, knocked down at around the 6-yard line.
Yeah, Ben just slid right out of the backfield. There was no one for him to block, and he just dumps it right down to him. Again, what McDaniel is doing a really good job is he's putting the ball in a place where his receivers can do something with it after they catch it. There's 2 things there, a catchable ball and putting it where your running back or your receiver can keep going forward.
1st and goal for Southern University. Devon Ben picking his way inside, and then he's close to the goal line.
I think you're going to mark him just short.
Yeah, he's just shy of that goal line. Boy, he was just doing a great job bobbing and weaving in there before he's finally taken down.
Yeah, again, he should have been like 3 yards short, and he winds up probably being a half a yard short right there. Yeah, he's about a full yard maybe, but great effort.
You know, Coach Rollins says they get the best of both worlds with Ben because he runs with so much power, but he also has those soft hands. He's a good receiver out of the backfield. We've seen him do both here in the first half. Turns and gives it to Ben again, and he's in for a touchdown for the Jaguars. Devon Ben right up the middle, and he scores a touchdown on a power run. Great job by the offensive line to just get enough push forward to get Devon Ben into the end zone.
Yeah, big Jonathan Bishop, number 65, he kind of collapses down inside, number 60 actually as well. I mean, they do a great job inside. Bernard Childs, one of those guys picking him up after the touchdown. Ben needs to pick him up after the touchdown. He does a great job blocking for him.
Man, if you're on the defensive line tonight, you have to anchor down and just grab you some dirt, find you some room in there, and just try to hold your ground, because both these teams can ground and pound, and we saw a good example of it on that drive by the Jaguars. So that will bring on Luke Jackson for the extra point. Jackson puts it up and in as the Jaguars jump out in front. You know, you look at this Southern offense, and we talk a lot about how they run the football, but they're fourth in the SWAC in scoring, averaging almost 29 points a game. You know, they're fifth in total offense, so they get it done. But on the other side, let's talk about Florida A&M for a minute. Check out the keys to the game, brought to you by USAA, and then you can take it, Jorge. And
yeah, I mean, spread out the Jags. I mean, you gotta get them apart. You know, get that defense spread out where they don't know what's coming at them, and that's going to keep your offense rolling. Defensive line play, we just saw it. It's a big reason that Southern is having their way with them right now. Ever since they got that turnover, their offensive line has risen up. And then win the turnover battle. Florida A&M is one of the best in the business in turnovers. They have 15 turnovers in 8 games this year. One of the top leaders in football. They've got to make that their staple and get something big today.
Well, we will see what Willie Simmons and the Rattlers have up their sleeves on this possession. I mean, he's all about the offense, and they find many ways to get it done. And they are trailing in this ball game for the first time tonight with 2:02 to go in the first quarter. Kickoff from Joshua Griffin. Goes down to about the 7-yard line. Shareed will bring it back. He has a wall. Shareed around the right side. Gets past another guy, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds near the 45-yard line. So a great return by Shareed and the Rattlers. Jamarie Shareed on the return.
Shareed, I'll tell you, special teams play, that was a really, really great wall. I mean, you draw those things up and you have an idea what you want to do. Watch all the white jerseys just turning everyone to the inside and some key people leading that charge. Great block there. And again, Shareed kind of stumbled just a little bit, but an excellent job on special teams, creating a great return, putting them in good field position. And now we'll see if the Rattlers offense can get some excitement.
Well, you mentioned that wall. Over there was Xavier Smith. He had 2 big blocks. One of their top receivers in the game sacrificing on the return with 2 big blocks. So here come the Rattlers on the attack, and they go to the big fella we told you about at the top of the broadcast, Jalen McLeod, and he's going to be spun down by Davin Cotton and company.
Yeah, Davin Cotton is a guy that I really love the way he plays. But watch, he almost tries to de-helmet him. He does de-helmet, takes his helmet right off. I think he's lucky he probably didn't get a penalty call on that. And it's not really face masking. It's taking, I don't know what they'd call it, de-helmeting.
Make it a 1-yard gain from McLeod on the play. So 2nd and 9 for the Rattlers. Smith in motion. Downfield is McKay, and he completes this pass. A nice shot to David Manigo. Nice catch. That's a first down, and move the stick for the Rattlers. Move the sticks for the Rattlers.
Now the pace. Watch their pace picks up. You get some success. You want to put the pace on that defense.
This time the give is to Bonnet. Look at Bonnet shaking and baking. He's around the left side. Bonnet has some room to go, and he is bumped out of bounds. And, oh, be careful over there. There comes the flag. And that one, they'll get you with that every time, and Bonnet may be hurt on the play. That is very unfortunate to see that. The nice run by Bonnet on the play. He was hit late out of bounds, and he may have been injured on the play.
You know, and let me tell you, that's those type of penalties. People will say, well, you know, it's not a big deal. He really didn't do much to him. When you I'll let the referee. Yeah, it's a shame because Bonnet ran his tail off there. There he is. He looks like he's in good shape there. It's glad he's not injured.
There's our crew. You saw the referee, Y.N. Myers, making the call there of unsportsmanlike conduct going against the Jaguars.
And again, he was out of bounds. He flipped him over. That's just not tough on your own team or what you just did, but you also could injure a player. And I mean, in between the whistles, it's all good, but whistle stops, you hit the sidelines, you got to stop.
So McKay and company get a first down with some penalty yardage tacked on to that first down. Football now resting just shy of the 11-yard line as the Rattlers try to answer the Jaguars. McKay puts his man in motion. Turns and he gives to Jennings. Jennings gets away from one would-be tackler, but he does not go far before the Rattlers show up to stop him for just a 1-yard gain inside.
I'll tell you, the Jaguars' intensity is fantastic, but they really have to control themselves. Just like that play out of bounds, you cost your team 15 yards right here. They're trying to be intense. You love the energy they're bringing to the table, but you can't make silly penalties just from being energetic.
Well, that will take us to the end of the first quarter with the Southern Jaguars playing in front of the home crowd tonight. Right now, the Jaguars are turning it on offensively. As you can see, the crowd, a lot from Florida A&M also in attendance tonight. Jaguars leading 14-7. We'll be back. Second quarter action in just a minute. And the Jaguars are leading 14-7 as we get ready to start the second quarter. And when you look at what they've done so far tonight, we have the Rattlers, though. They may not be leading for long because the Rattlers are knocking on the door. Rashawn McKay and company with the football resting at about the 12-yard line. McKay turns and gives to the big fella, McLeod, and McLeod bulls his way down to the 3-yard line. Jalen McLeod, 6'2", 245 big ones. He's a transfer from Savannah State.
Tell you what, I called him the runaway train. That sure looked like it right there. He just picks that track. Once he sees where he's going to go, he just starts rolling. He's going to make you pay when you go for the tackle.
Man, he's such a weapon, especially late in games when if you have the lead and you're trying to just run down that clock. You know, we saw him last week how they just kept pumping the ball to McLeod and he just kept delivering 5, 7, 8 yards a pop.
Mm-hmm.
So now a big 3rd down and 2 coming up for the Rattlers. And they go to McLeod and he runs right back smack into one of his offensive linemen. So a good surge by the Jaguars on defense, knocking that offensive line into the backfield.
Yeah, I'll tell you, if you're not blocking, you're getting run over by your running back. He ran right into T.J. Lee. Wasn't moving the way he wanted. Just slammed right into him. And again, that's why you don't get negative plays with him as well, right? I mean, sometimes you get someone that wants to dance back there a little bit too much, and that's not what you need.
So 4th and 2, and the Rattlers will try to attempt a field goal. It will be a 20-yard attempt by Jose Romo Martinez. He comes on and he drills it. So a beautiful kick by Martinez. And Coach Willie Simmons decided to go for the field goal there. He got a lot of football left to play in this ball game. Southern University out in front after the field goal, 14-10. We'll be back with more second quarter action in just a minute.
Why not experience something different? Dine at any black-owned restaurant. Upload your receipt.
All after the field goal by the Rattlers. Cut the lead down to 4 points in the game. And you look at this, you know, we could talk about these two teams because they're two historic teams. But the Jaguars come in here, very successful program throughout the years. When you just look at the numbers, 19 conference championships, 11 black national titles, 7 SWAC Western Division championships. That's a lot of history wrapped up right there.
That's a lot of success. No question about it. And again, they're really trying to get back into those realms, and that's where they're headed. Now this year they've had some stumbles that they weren't ready for, but tonight, after that first 3 plays and they get the turnover, they have found some excitement, and they have found some energy, and we'll see if they can continue that. Again, a lot of these things are, can you continue to perform and keep your focus, and we'll see if that energy comes back out. But that was a big answer for the Rattlers. Obviously, they would have liked a touchdown, but at least they did get 3 out of that drive.
So a penalty on the kickoff as the kick goes out of bounds. So that means the Jags will get excellent field position when this is marked off by our referee, Y.N. Myers, tonight. And they've looked pretty good, minus that first drive, which didn't really develop, when they had to get rid of the football. But you're right. I mean, you and I were talking about it during the break. They got that turnover, and something just ignited, and this team really just turned it on after that. So 1st and 10. Football now on the 35-yard line. McDaniel will start the drive with a pass near the sideline and a quick play by the defender, Kendall Bowler. Great reaction by him, breaking on the football there, turned that into kind of a dangerous pass. He was trying to hit Marquise McLean, but the pass goes down incomplete.
Yeah, Bowler, I thought what was good about what he did there, he read the play. And when I say that, I mean he knew what was coming, but he reacted perfectly.
This time McDaniel fakes the handoff, has some pressure, goes back to Nelson. Nelson with a great move down the sideline. Now it's a foot race. Nelson will finally be bumped out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. But a great play by Craig Nelson after he caught the pass, had one guy to beat, and he did that, and he goes right down the sideline.
Yeah, Nelson showed up large, I'll tell you that. Again, the lineman letting some guys in to create some gaps there, and then he does it himself there. Great speed, great vision.
Jags will try to pass it again, but McDaniel is caught and dropped in the backfield. There is number 0, Savion Williams, the big fella coming through, the transfer from Tennessee on the sack. Last week, he was ejected from the ball game, but he's back this week because it wasn't an intentional, foul type. It wasn't a taunting type, targeting type foul.
Right.
So he could come back this week. Did not have to sit out a half. So he's out there making his presence felt in the ball game, coming up with a sack. Whitfield in motion, the fake to him. McDaniel keeps around the right side, and Bubba picked up about 5. Great job on the ball handling.
Yeah, and I was keeping an eye on Savion Williams that time, and that time he didn't stay to the outside. I'm not sure if he was stunting or not, but he got collapsed down inside and didn't maintain that outside leverage, so that's how Daniel was able to get out to the outside. You see, he was kind of on the inside there. No one else was out there to contain.
And down the middle, Devon Ben on the carry for the Jaguars. Southern just sends so much motion at your way. It puts so much pressure on the defense. They're faking to 1, 2, sometimes 3 guys on a play, like when they came back to that screen to Nelson. He had faked the football to 2 other guys on that play.
Yeah, you have to be disciplined enough, right? Yeah, and again, a lot of that has to do with you got to watch the film, be prepared, know what's coming. And then it's one thing to see it on film, but then to react to it live, it's always different.
McDaniel gives this one to Ben. He tried to spin away from trouble. Couldn't really do it. Derek Mayweather had a grip on him, and he didn't let go. So a good job by Derek Mayweather making that tackle.
And kind of another helmet tackle. Wasn't able to rip it off, but kind of grabbed him by the head. And Ben, that spin he had got him the extra yard or 2. He would have been probably a negative play for that.
Second and 8 for a touchdown. Jamar Washington. And great reaction and a great recovery by Marquise Bell. Of course, that guy is everything for this defense. I mean, he's the guy who sets the table and can make some big plays. Big hit by number 5, who's actually being scouted by a lot of NFL teams. They go to practice to watch this young man work out. He's another young player we may see on Sundays.
Yeah, he came up strong there, I'll tell you, but went to the short side of the field, didn't have a lot of room. Marquise Bell made him pay for it.
3rd and goal. McDaniel has to sprint out of the pocket, drop the football, and then all he could do was fall on it after that. So no one will be more disappointed than Bubba McDaniel after that one. He did a great job of getting away from the pressure, but he dropped the football, tried to pick it up, could not scoop it up.
Well, I'm kind of I'm not sure what they would call it, a leg whip, but look at that leg whip right there, and that's kind of, it's almost like tripping, but on the defensive side of the ball, kind of how they did that there. So I thought they may have called some kind of flag there for whipping your legs around to hit him, and that's actually what knocked that ball out. Yeah, tripping. They can call tripping on that.
4th and goal for the Jaguars, so we will get another look at Luke Jackson as he comes on to set up for the field goal. Good snap. The kick from Jackson is true. Nice job by Luke Jackson, the hero from 1 week ago. He hit the game winner to beat Alcorn State, and he comes in and chips in another field goal tonight. And there you see Luke Jackson explaining on the sidelines just how he hit that 40-yard field goal to put the Jaguars out in front 17-10. He's an interesting story. You know, a young man, as you can see there, from Bensalem, Pennsylvania. Came in, actually was a walk-on, was doing his own videotapes, man, was sending them out to colleges all over the country. Talked to somebody at Southern. They said, come on down. He comes on down. The next thing is history. Their kicker transfers to Louisiana Tech. Everybody on the team loves him. You know, he kicks the game winner last week from 47 yards, and tonight he has another field goal. By the way, he did end up getting put on full scholarship. So hard work does pay off. And here come the Rattlers now on the kickoff return, and the ball is out. Looked like he was down on the play, but the football came out. And we'll see what the officials do with it here. There, he's looking around. He's lost. He didn't know what happened there. He wants someone else to tell him. Let's take a look and see the ball. We couldn't quite see it coming out there, but it may have come out.
No, I think his knee was down, and actually I think his elbows were down by the time that ball came out.
So the officials call it a live ball. They said it was a fumble, so the football will go over to the Jaguars. So some great play, a great aggressive tackle, punching that football out, and Southern gets another big break in this ball game, and Willie Simmons does not like that one bit.
Well, I was going to say, I think they're going to take another look at this, and if we look at it right here, yeah, I think his shoulder's even down before the thing gets ripped. I would be surprised if this stands.
So the play is under review, so the officials will take a closer look. You know, it's a tale of two coaches right now, because Jason Rollins goes, it looks good to me. And on the other side, Willie Simmons go, whoa, wait a minute now. Let's recheck that tape.
Desire helps your what you see. Is that what you're saying?
Well, you know, just like beauty's in the eye of the beholder, same thing with a fumble. It's in the eye of the beholder right there.
Well, I think it's going to be overturned because I think his knee was down and his shoulder, and then you can see where the defender. And again, props to the defenders of Jaguars. They were pulling that ball out, and so you like the way they were going aggressively going at the ball, Butch. But I just don't think that that's going to stand.
Jason Rollins, of course, was on Dawson Odom's staff before he moved on to Norfolk State. So he had some big shoes to fill. But let's take another look at that fumble again and see exactly if we can tell when that football came out.
Yeah, this is the angle where you kind of see his knee, I believe, right there, and then the ball gets ripped.
That is Chris Sanders, the ball carrier for the Rattlers. And we will see what Y.N. Myers and crew come up with.
Yeah, Carlin Davis, the third, actually, is the one who ripped that ball out. I just think, again, he was down. But, again, you like the aggressiveness. And we talked about this already, turnovers. You know, Florida A&M is the king of turnovers. That's what they live off of, and they've given up one. And that reignited the Jaguars. And since then, they've been playing with a great enthusiasm, we'll call it. And we'll see if this one sticks here.
So he was down by contact was Chris Sanders. So the ball will stay in the hands of Florida A&M.
I got one right.
Well, they had to look through that and kind of check it out and make sure that they had the right call, and that's the thing to do in that situation.
Yeah, I think sometimes you let the ball go through because you know you do get to review it sometimes, and they'd rather be safe than sorry on that and then go back and correct it. So you like the call there. And, again, the right call is made, and at the end of the day, that's what you're looking for. Rattlers now have to make something happen.
It was a pivotal point in the game. The ball would have been on the 30, and it would have been in Southern's possession. So this time the give is to Bonnet, who's back in the game after that injury, and Bonnet rips off 13 big yards and a first down for the Rattlers.
Yeah, Bishop Bonnet, I mean, watch the way he is lightning quick. He's a twitchy player. It's kind of what I call it. He doesn't, to me, look like he's actually going that fast, but you watch him fly by other guys that you know are fast.
Well, Coach Simmons says he has great leg drive, that is his big strength. He's one of the best blockers on the team, and he actually walked on and earned a scholarship. So you talk about a very talented guy. Here he goes again. Look at him patiently picking his spots there. A great run near the sideline by Bishop Bonnet.
Yeah, and again, folks, he's 5'7", 175. This is not a huge guy, but again, just watch him. I mean, patiently right behind there. How do you be that calm when you got big guys coming at you and you're only 175 pounds? But he trusts his judgment. He's got great reads, takes it up the field. Good drive right now for the Rattlers.
2nd and 1. McKay looking to crank it out, and it's a completed pass. A nice shot to Chad Hunter, who hauls it in, and that is another first down for the Rattlers. So they have responded after the near turnover. They're moving the football.
Yeah, sometimes those things are wake-up calls for you, right? We were close to something bad happening.
Jennings gets the call there, and he just dives forward for a couple of yards. Terrell Jennings, who's a 6', 230-pound redshirt sophomore. He started most of the games this year. This time, McKay rose to his right, fires near the sideline, and he got it. What a catch right there by Xavier Smith. And I tell you what, if number 22, Glenn Brown, had turned around, he might have would have intercepted that football.
Yeah, McKay did a good job of really faking that play action, which gave him just enough time to be able to send that ball out there. Very accurate.
Just a great job of throwing that football to a spot, letting his receiver turn around and make a play, and the Rattlers have another first down on this drive with 6:52 to go here in the first half. 1st and 10. Turn, and the give is to Jennings, who slipped away from one tackler, and then Jennings bounces inside the 10. So a nice job by Terrell Jennings.
Well, I think Terrell.
And Brian Jordan making the stop. for the Jags.
I think Terrell thought he was going to get tackled. You saw him kind of brace for the impact, and somehow he just kind of slid right through that and was able to get another 4 or 5 yards.
So 2nd down and 7 to go. They could pick up another first down, but it has to be inside the 1-yard line. So McKay fakes the handoff, fires to an open receiver, and he dropped the pass. Right on the money to David Manigo, and he could not hang on, but I think he would have scored on that play if he made the catch.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you're on a slant, you get that far open, it is tough, and it hit him right in there, and you know he wants that one back.
It almost looked like he lost possession of the ball when he was diving for the end zone. It's like the ball was in there and he wanted to get it in quick and may have just lost his concentration a tad. So that brings up a huge 3rd down for the Rattlers.
Yeah, I think he was looking up, right? He didn't finish looking that ball all the way in. Started looking up and started his dive before he actually had the ball. That's like going to cash your check before you get paid. It doesn't work.
McKay to pass it now on 3rd down, and it's incomplete. And I think the receivers and the quarterback were a little crossed up on that play because that ball went in no man's land. Of course, a lot of pressure on McKay.
Yeah, hey, we talked about that being a key for the Jaguars, getting pressure on them. They sure did it there in a big moment.
Well, it forced him to throw the football a lot sooner than he wanted, so we're going to see another field goal attempt by Jose Romo Martinez.
You have to consider that success, Butch. Jaguars standing up again, making him get a field goal instead of 7.
This guy's got a powerful leg. His coach says he could drill him from 55. This one on the way by Martinez is good. So the Rattlers get the 3.
Play.
Just like to talk, Jorge.
Yeah, well,
They just get on the field goal.
But you can't cost your team a penalty because of it.
It's always the DBs and the wide receivers, though, usually. So here we go, Southern, 1st and 10. The pass is completed, and it was juggled around, and it's still loose. And finally, it's Jamar Washington who falls on it for the Jaguars. And it's going to go down as an incomplete pass.
Yeah, it was an almost catch. I almost have it, almost, There you go, but Washington did a good job of jumping on it just in case they would call it a catch. And it would be a fumble right there.
Khalif Gossick was the young man who tried to make the catch. You got to snag that ball and make it the first time. It's a lot easier that way. So it goes down as an incomplete pass. McDaniel on 2nd and 10 fires near the sideline, and it's a completed pass. Goes to his big receiver, Marquise McLean. And when I say big, I mean 6'3", 210-pounder. He's a senior, a transfer from Auburn, making that catch and moving the sticks for the Jags. So they go right back upfield after the field goal by the Rattlers. Washington goes in motion. The give is to Nelson, and Nelson is going to be dragged back and stopped. A big defensive play. Lovey Jenkins, one of the Rattlers there to make the stop.
Well, Lovey Jenkins getting down in there low in the trenches there and coming up with just a good tackle. I mean, he kind of bear hugged him. He said, "You're going to go somewhere. You're going to have me on you."
McDaniel on 2nd and 10 will pass. And it's going to be incomplete, but a great play over there by the defensive back, B.J. Bowler.
Savion Williams on that end. Watch him. He is just pushing, just driving is the tackle in there, causing some havoc there. Watch that battle the entire time because it's good. It's a good one.
B.J. Bowler, the older brother of Kendall Bowler. We saw Kendall make a big play earlier in this game, and that was B.J. with great coverage there. So 3rd and 10 now for the Jags. McDaniel lets it fly. Going for McLean, and he just overshot him there. A long pass. Bowler on the coverage down the field. So a good job defensively by the Rattlers.
Yeah, this play, I think the receiver is just a little bit too wide. A little bit, if they started off a little bit more towards the numbers, you kind of give yourself some room. I think the pattern's supposed to be run just right at the edge of those numbers, and he was a little bit too far and couldn't get back to the ball.
So Shareed goes back to return the punt. The last time Martel Fontenot tried to punt the football away, it was a very short kick that actually touched one of the Rattlers, and Southern recovered. So this one looked like it was blocked again. Maybe the Rattlers may have gotten a hand on that one, and you see the Jags will touch it down there. But what kind of pressure? They're putting a lot of pressure on the punter.
Sure.
We'll be back in a minute. 17-13, Jags out in front. In front with the Rattlers taking over the football now. Shareed goes in motion, goes back the other way, and then a nice fake by McKay. He keeps it in a nice gain for McKay.
I'll tell you what, when you put the ball in the belly and just ride it a little bit, as a linebacker, as a D-line, you're glancing up, trying to take off. Watch how he rides it and then pulls it out the very last second. That creates a gap. It is so hard to see from the inside.
You know, he has a strong arm. He has a rifle there, but, you know, he can also pull it down, as he showed you right there, and he can get it done on the ground. So McKay now looking at a 2nd down and 4 yards to continue the drive. Shareed goes in motion. They hand the football to Bishop, still on his feet. Bishop is going to turn nothing into something. Nice shake and bake inside by Bishop. He's going to be close to a 1st down.
I really like the way Bishop runs. I mean, it is just, look right there. He gets spinning. He's high. He spin around. He actually threw the guy's arm off of him and then took off. That is something.
And here's Bishop again, reversing field, going the other way. And once again, Ray Anderson got there for the stop, but Bishop is just a hard running back to corral. 666 yards rushing is what he came into this ball game with. But he can get it done. McKay throws underneath, does a good job of dropping it off to Smith. And Xavier Smith steps out of bounds with another 1st down for the Jags.
Yeah, it was almost like they looked like they were trying to go deep, and the whole time they just wide open receiver, just throw it right, dump it right down to him.
Actually, he was going to be short of the stick, so we're going to have a big 3rd down coming up, make it 3rd and 5 for the Rattlers. You know, I mentioned baseball is McKay's trade. I mean, that's what he was, a baseball player. And you can tell by the way he whips that football around. Really a strong arm quarterback. With a big key down coming up for the Rattlers. McKay fakes it, guns it inside. That's your 1st down. And a lot more. A great move by Xavier Smith. And he's finally taken down around the 12-yard line. But how about that? Xavier Smith, the 5'10", 170-pounder, making a great move there to pick up the 1st down and more.
Yeah, I thought they were going to go a little bit over that right side, and a seam route in that right side of the slant, but instead they used that left side. The middle was open, and again, a perfect strike, and then great moves once you catch the ball. And again, watch, he puts the ball right where his receiver can take off with the ball. An excellent job. He does the rest.
Yeah, we were just talking about his arm strength, and then we got a perfect example about what that's all about right there as he gunned it in there. So Florida A&M will take a timeout with 1:48 to go here in the 1st half. And, you know, both teams have had their moments in this ball game.
Yeah, it's been a really entertaining brand of football. And again, while the offenses, I think, have had a lot of success, the defenses have put pressure on them. It's really just about the offenses have made the plays really well, right? It's not like defensive collapses or anything like that. It's just the offenses have executed extremely well. And I think this timeout's a pretty smart one right now because it's like, look, guys, here's where we are. Here's what we're going to do. And then they're going to want to keep that clock going now. And, you know, obviously what they're trying to do is run that clock down, scoring that last touchdown in their mind. That's what they want to do, get on top before the half. But they want to make sure the clock rolls probably from after here.
So 1st and 10 for the Rattlers. McKay puts Bonnet in motion. Looks the opposite way and it's almost picked off. Number 31, Jacoby Jones. Man, he was looking at the goal line, heading the other way and forgot one thing. forgot to take the football with it.
Well, you know, Jacoby, you're right. He did every single thing right, and that's what you call. You look at him right there from the safety position. He saw exactly what was happening. He took off right after it. Just could not grab it. His hands did not go.
Just an outstanding read. He saw that all the way. Did a great job of breaking on the football. Did everything perfect except catch the football and take it into the end zone. And let's make no mistake about it. He would have been gone.
Yes, there was no one that was going to get.
That was going to be 6 the other way. Now it's 2nd and 10 for the Rattlers. Pressure on McKay. Fires to a wide open man in the end zone. And that is a touchdown for the Rattlers. Number 81, Kamari Young, somehow slipped in behind the secondary, was all by himself, and Rashawn McKay found it.
Yeah, I mean, broken down coverage. I mean, that is just, you don't get that wide open unless someone just totally messed up and is not in your area code. I mean, they were a state away, I think. Somebody was in Mississippi instead of in Louisiana here on this one.
Well, the Rattlers will bring on Romo Martinez again for the extra point, as Florida A&M has jumped back out in front. And Martinez gets that one just inside of the upright. Man, McKay sold that one by looking over to his left. You could see him looking to his left, everybody sliding in, and he came right back to Young, knowing where he was in the end zone.
Yeah, and probably no one was more surprised than McKay how open he was. And I'll tell you, people are, oh, he's wide open. How did he miss that? Sometimes quarterbacks, he's a short throw, or they, it's one of those things where you just try to target too much and you don't use your normal throwing action. What was good about him, he was just really, really calm, put it right there. And again, you're right. He looked everyone to the left. Boom, throw back to the right. Great execution. And again, the Rattlers come roaring back. Their offense has been pretty consistent throughout this game.
And we did mention that McKay doesn't have a lot of experience, but you know what? He has the most experience of all the quarterbacks on the roster.
Hey, you're right. I mean, he's the one that didn't start playing until he was a junior in high school, and then finally decided, senior year really kind of came into his own. And so he's got so much upside right now, and you can see how well he's playing. Today's 11 for 16, 179 yards and a touchdown.
So Romo Martinez kicks it off deep, and Skelton, well, he's going to bring it out. Skelton had trouble feeling the kickoff, and now he's going to bring it out, still on his feet. Ladarius Skelton trying to make something happen, but he's going to be dropped. And, you got to figure right there, Coach Rollins is not going to be too happy about that one.
Yeah, and right there you saw the Rattlers talking back at him that time.
You see on the return, he just couldn't quite get a handle on it. I guess he figured he touched it, so he had to go get it.
Yeah, well, I mean, he had to. Otherwise, it was a muff ball, and it's a live ball, so he's got to do something with it. And he would have done himself a better service just going straight up the field with it.
So he got it out to the 9. We were talking about how successful Southern has been, and they've been outstanding throughout their history. Florida A&M is also one of those legendary teams. 8 Black College National Championship for the Rattlers. And so we come back with the pass to Craig Nelson. And Nelson does a good job. He's very close to another first down, and he has it. So Craig Nelson out of the backfield showing off the soft hands, making the catch, turning it into a first down with 1:19 to go here in the first half. And the Jaguars are trying to go quickly. Another pass to McLean. And the officials say keep the clock running. As the big fella bounds, but he's going to be ruled down inbounds. So the clock will continue to run. McDaniel looking to throw it again. Slides up in the pocket, fires when it's incomplete, was trying to hit Ethan Howard over near the sidelines. That was good. Howard wasn't going to go very far anyway, so it's a good job that he got the incomplete pass and stopped the clock.
Yeah, McDaniel wanted to make sure he got rid of that. But this is the big 3rd and 5 now. I mean, they got to convert. Again, you really don't want to punt. Your punts haven't been all that successful, and you've gotten a lot of pressure on them. And at this point they would be coming right at you. So this is the big 3rd down.
Big 3rd down for McDaniel, 3rd and 5. And he runs the option play, and he pitches to Nelson. And Nelson's going to pick up that first down. So great execution by the Jags.
You're right. I mean, the pitch was in perfect shape, and I'll tell you, I really like what I've seen out of Craig Nelson.
So McDaniel on first down, the ball is knocked away. It is still loose, and Bubba McDaniel had to fall on the football. But great pressure from the Rattlers to knock that ball out of there.
Isaiah Land, he's been coming a lot there. He finally got home. I've been watching him battle.
He's been close, yes.
Yeah, I've been watching him battle. McDaniel's done a nice job of avoiding him, throwing over him. But that time he got home, and it could have been an absolutely huge play on a turnover situation.
So the Jaguars will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. You were talking about Isaiah Land, a young man who has 12 sacks on the year. That shows you just what a quick first move he has to get off the line of scrimmage, and he's usually breathing down the quarterback's neck.
Yeah, and I've been watching him because, usually you get a guy that goes in spurts, right? You see him really get a lot of pressure, and then they kind of back off, and they just kind of stay in the background for a little bit, and then you see him explode. Every time I've watched him take off of that line of scrimmage, it's always been explosion, the same type of effort, the same type. And again, that just wears. I mean, you're an offensive lineman looking at him. Oh my gosh, here he comes again. You better bring your lunch pail, right, to go to work, because this guy across from you is going to come at you. He's not taking a play off. That is always, always difficult.
Nice crowd on hand, as always, at Southern University, even though they might be a little chilly right now. 2nd down and 18 after the big loss. So Land again putting pressure on McDaniel. McDaniel will pull it down and run with it inside, and he's going to be tackled right there by number 27, Nadarius Fagan. He did the best thing, though. He had pressure forced out of the pocket again by Land.
Jaguars are lucky they didn't get a holding call on that one.
So they go quickly as the clock continues to tick. Down to 8 seconds to go. McDaniel fires near the sideline, goes over to Nelson, and he steps out of bounds, but he didn't even get to midfield. So we have 3 seconds left. The clock was stopped with 3 ticks left on the clock.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting in here now. So what do you do if you're Southern? Do you crank one up there, just give yourself a chance?
Well, you only trail by 3 points. I mean, we'll see what Coach Rollins decides to do here.
I'd like to see him. Again, what do you got to lose if he gets intercepted?
Yeah, I don't know if they're worried about the interception as much as maybe McDaniel has already lost 2 fumbles in the backfield. That he was very fortunate to get back. Of course, we got a real treat for you coming up at halftime. We got both bands that will perform tonight.
You got 2 that travel. That's good. That's good because they don't travel as much as they used to with the way things are going. And super excited to see both bands.
The Marching 100 from Florida A&M, always exciting to watch on the field. And then of course you got the Human Jukebox.
Yeah.
I mean, that's always a legendary performance. But we have 3 seconds to go, and he got him to jump. So this is a free play, and McDaniel fires over the middle, and he has Howard. It's a completed pass. But let's see what the call is. The half can't end on a defensive penalty. So we'll come back, and the Jaguars might get it. They'll get another shot at it.
Well, right, yeah, they'll decline it, take another shot. But again, when you had a free play like this, I'm really surprised he didn't just heave one down the field. Whoever was doing the go pattern, and just heave it. You got nothing to lose. But so now you're going to get another untimed down. Well, they should get an untimed down unless they decline it.
So he said 5 yards and a first down. And you see Bubba McDaniel checking out the situation. 1 untimed down. So that's what they're going to get, and we will see what the Jaguars do, whether or not this is the big heave down into the end zone or not.
And why not? Why not give it a shot? And again, right there, I thought if he had it to do over again, I think right there you see him jump off sides. That's when you do heave it down. You got nothing to lose.
And Southern's going to use their last timeout to going now. It may come down to whoever has the football last to see who wins this ball
Let
game.
me tell you this. That's a total entertainment package, this game. You saw a great half of football, and you just saw a great halftime with two bands that went at it.
Hard to tell who worked the hardest.
I'll tell you. But you're absolutely right. You have two offenses that have really done a nice job. And, again, I have to go back to literally the punt by Southern. The first 3 plays they ran, and I know it's just 3 plays, they looked lethargic. They just didn't look like they were even on the same page. And it was almost like when they went off for the punt, their heads were down. There was just zapped energy, and you thought, oh, my gosh, this may be one of those games that they come out totally flat. You have the punt, you get the muff, you get the ball over, and then suddenly the Jaguars come back out. It's almost like, hey, we got a new chance, and their energy was totally different when they went back out there, drove the ball down the field for the 7. And I'm telling you, the game has been totally different. Now you've gotten great success on both sides of the ball from both teams. It's been a really, really well-played football game.
It turned everything around. So let's take a look at some of the action from the first half and see exactly how it was done here. And we start with the Rattlers on the attack. McKay with the pass to Shamarie Shareed, and check him out, looking just like Tyreek Hill. He even put up the #1 there on the touchdown play. And then the kick from Martel Fontenot. This was huge because it actually touched one of the Rattlers, and Southern recovered the kick to set up the pass in the back of the end zone to Ethan Howard for the touchdown. And it was that kind of first half, some exciting back and forth from both teams. Turnovers played a big role in this ball game. They were huge. It led to some scoring. And right now the Rattlers, as we get set to kick it off in the second half, the Rattlers are clinging to that 3-point lead. And you want to know how chilly it is? It is gumbo weather in Baton Rouge. Check it out.
Well, wait a minute. It's always gumbo
Well,
weather. That's like saying it's boudin. It's boudin time. Now, there is crawfish time, right? But there's certainly gumbo's ready because you can just switch it to chicken, right? Do your chicken fillet. And
are you saying you go in there and you just crank the air conditioner up and eat your gumbo?
Man, anytime my mom or my grandma would throw some gumbo down, I'm down with it. Of course, you and I are both from Louisiana, so you're from literally that area or closer to that area than I was. I grew up in New Orleans, so we certainly know gumbo.
No doubt about it. Jaguars want to know some football here as they get set to return the kick to start the second half. It's fielded on the 4 by Ladarius Skelton. Skelton works his way across the 25, and he's dropped down right there, and we have some extracurricular activity going on the field, but the return, and that's where Southern will start 1st and 10 with the football, trailing the Rattlers by 3 in a key ball game tonight. We talked about how both teams still have championship aspirations. The Rattlers feel like, they're chasing Jackson State. If Jackson State wins out, Florida A&M wins out, then Florida A&M feels like they have an opportunity to play in the playoffs, in the FCS playoffs. So a lot on the line tonight in this one. McDaniel back in at quarterback for the Jags. He will start the second half with the pass and completes it to McLean. Again, really good coverage over there by the Rattlers. #4, Kendall Bowler. Boy, he's been aggressive on that corner, making some big stops for Florida A&M.
Yeah, Bowler's played a nice game, and again, what the timing of McDaniel and the accuracy allowed that to be a completion right there.
This time, nice fake by McDaniel on the jet sweep there, on the zone read, kept the football and picked up some yardage. You could also see Florida A&M going to some pressure, trying to blow that play up in the backfield.
Yeah, and again, he did his running back a favor by pulling that ball back out, because otherwise he would have had the full force laid down on him.
Yeah, he saw Marquise Bell coming, and he was really coming, ready to lay the wood on him. So McDaniel did the best thing right there.
Yeah, 3rd and 2 on this one.
And it goes to big Devon Ben, and he bangs his way forward for a first down for the Jaguars. That was huge. That was a big down, and he had no doubt about that. That offensive line surged off the football, and Ben turned it upfield for a first down.
Yeah, I mean, you like Southern the way they've come out. They've come out at halftime now, and sometimes, teams can come out and take a while again to get their footing, but they've come out with that same aggression.
1st and 10 now for the Jags. They go to the run. That is Devon Ben, and, man, there's just not much happening inside there. #27, Nadarius Fagan one of the Rattlers there to stop the play. I mean, they're just playing some really tough defense right now.
Yeah, you said one of them. There was a bunch.
Second down. The fake goes to Ben. McDaniel rose to his right, fires, has McClain near the sideline, and the officials say, yes, sir, it's a completed pass.
Again, relentless pressure. Jaguars are coming. They don't get home all the time, but man, they sure have. They're working.
Second down and 10 to go for the Rattlers. Rashawn McKay has gone all the way at quarterback. He gives it to Bonnet, and Bonnet is cracked down in the backfield. Tyron Nash. Man, that was some quick reaction by Tyron Nash.
It sure was. I mean, you talk about just shed your blocker and then get up in the grill. Woo. And that's form tackling too.
That's going to be a loss of 2, so it brings up third down. Make it 3rd and 11, loss of 1 on the play. As McKay looks to the sideline to get into play. You can see him talking to Chad Hunter, trying to change his route. Now they're set. McKay with some time in the pocket, slips out to the left, fires, and it's almost caught, but we do have a flag down. He was going to Hunter with the pass, and Chad Hunter felt like he was interfered with.
And Tamarius Smith was with the coverage there. He feels like he had great coverage, and one felt like he was messed with. So,
you know, Southern was so excited to get Tamarius Smith back. You know, he had been injured. He missed a couple of games, and, you know, he just makes a whale of a difference in their secondary. So Y.N. Myers said the Jags were guilty of pass interference. Going to be a first down.
Wow.
For the Rattlers.
From that angle, you could barely see it. There was just a little bit of hand fighting, right? But I think to me, that was kind of both receiver and defender hand fighting each other. But again, Rattlers get one on this one, I would say.
Eye of the beholder, my friend. First and 10
I'm impartial.
For the Rattlers. Give us to Bonnet. Bonnet around the left side, turns on that speed. You saw just a quick glimpse of that quickness at work, how fast that young man can accelerate.
Well, what he does a really good job, if you really kind of glance at that, he leans right at the end to the inside like he's going to take an inside cut. It makes that defender think he's going to come inside, and then he just smoothly goes right outside.
McKay fakes it to Bonnet this time. Fires down the field, has a man near the sideline. That is Smith, but he is out of bounds on that one. And he can't believe it. He did make an incredible diving catch, but the officials say it's incomplete.
Yeah, he was Superman. He was in the air before he touched the ball. His feet, you know, he kind of put his feet in when he jumped, but he didn't have the ball yet. So that was a good call. Great catch, just out of the field of play.
Really nice catch, but that brings up a third and makeable, very manageable 3rd and 2 for the Rattlers.
I think you're going to see Bishop Bonnet right here.
Rattlers have done a good job of converting when they've had to in this ball game. Smith goes in motion. The give is to Bonnet. Bonnet dances inside, and he is open. He has the first down and a lot more. I mean, that acceleration is just so much a part of his game. He's so patient, and then he just explodes.
Well, and I think he's that right size, too, where he just gets lost. If you're the defenders, the defensive backs, and the safeties that are coming up, he gets lost for a moment, so you don't see which direction he's headed. And then by the time you see him, he's already going in a different direction than you think. And, again, that's just great awareness on his and just an acceleration. I mean, I don't know what kind of 40 he runs, but, man, it's good acceleration.
He's 5'7" and 175, but when you talk to Coach Simmons, he said he's one of the most loudest, most vocal leaders on this team. Pressure on McKay, and he unloads and shoots it out to the sidelines for an incompleted pass.
And you may see an intentional grounding on that one.
But the Jags had the heat on. Jalen Ivey was in the backfield to hurry that pass along.
Yeah, now watch this here. I mean, he knew where he was going, but he sees the pressure, and he just wheels it out of there, and there's no one in the zip code.
There was nobody touching Jalen Ivey either as he came in scot-free, had a straight line to McKay. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 10 after the incompleted pass. Shareed goes in motion to the left. McKay sets, throws underneath, and it's incomplete. Was trying to get it to Shareed. Jamarie Shareed was his intended receiver, but the pass was a little strong.
Yeah, I mean, between Bonnet and Shareed, I mean, those are two guys that are kind of similar in the fact of how shifty they are, how explosive they are. And again, they kind of come from that same mold. And you got two guys that are that electric in your backfield as a receiver. I mean, that's pretty special.
3rd and 10 for the Rattlers. Southern faking the blitz at the top of the screen right there, and it caused McKay to back away. Now he has to hurry. Rashawn McKay gives it off to Bonnet. Bonnet could not get by. He tried the stiff arm, but it did not work. He was trying to get past Kenan Tate, but Tate comes up with a nice play for the Jags.
Yeah, Bonnet again. Almost made something really big happen there. Good tackle.
So we will see what the Jags decide to do on 4th down, and what the Rattlers decide to do. They're going to punt as we see Romo Martinez back out on the field. Good snap, takes his time. Took a good look around, gave his teammates time to get down and cover the punt, and they do. And it's going to be touchdown at about the 13-yard line. A&M still up by 3. Florida A&M. This is their first year in the SWAC from the MEAC. They come in, you know what? They still have a history with Southern University. These two teams go way back. In fact, FAMU leads the series, 33 wins, 26 losses, and 1 tie in the series. Last time they played, 2019, and the Rattlers won that one also. They come this time with the run. They go back to Bishop Bonnet, and boy, that the Southern Jaguars react to that. So this is a special series. I know it's the first year for Florida A&M, but even so, they've always had a history with Southern, and this game is one that they always look forward to.
Yeah, and again, you know, now that you're in the conference, it can mean a little. It does mean a little more because you're talking about conference championships. But I guess, you know, the Rattlers said, you know what, we like playing them so much. Let's go ahead and make this a regular, get in their conference, and let's make it matter more. And again, the battle today, that you can see a lot of the chatter, more chatter than I've seen in quite some time. And again, I think they've toned it down just a little bit. I was a little nervous that they were going to get some big time penalties, but it means a lot to both teams.
2nd and 8 coming up for the Rattlers. McKay fires over the middle, and he got it in there. A completed pass to Shareed. Jamarie Shareed on the catch, and that window to complete that pass wasn't very big, but you got a glimpse of that strong arm from McKay. So a 1st and 10, McKay pumps one way, comes back that way, completes the pass, and the Rattlers pick up a nice gain on 1st down thanks to Shareed.
Now, how about Shareed right there, right? He caught the ball, and then he just really kind of attacked between two defenders and made them make a judgment of where they thought he was going to go. Normally, you see him try to sidewind. He just went right at him and was like, I'm going to get as much out of this as I can.
The young man is so quick. I mean, you have to know where number 10 is every time he's on the field. So 2nd and 2, McKay cranks it downfield, has a man as Chad Hunter made the catch, picks up the 1st down in a big game. Yeah, nice play to Chad Hunter.
Yeah, Rattlers really mixing it up on just how they're doing the line of scrimmage, and that time they looked like they were running big, and you thought a run was coming, and they went ahead and threw right out of it.
Rattlers go quickly. The handoff to Bonnet. Bonnet slips away and picks up about 6 or 7 yards on 1st down.
Yeah, matter of fact, that was the same offensive set they ran just a minute ago. This time they ran out of it. And when you do things like that, you can't predict. So as a defense, now you got to be ready for everything out of the same set.
Well, and the way they are varying their tempo, is really having an effect on the Jaguars here, because they started the second half a little slower than they ended the first half, and now you can see them picking it up again. And for now, it looks like Southern is playing catch-up on defense. So 2nd and 5 for McKay. Hands off to the big back, Jay McLeod, and McLeod, not much happened in that time. Ray Anderson, one of the Jaguars there to make the stop on the big running back.
Yeah, we haven't seen that train rambling in a while, and they bring him back in, and you said they situationally they bring him in and when he gets to goal line and big times and big hard running. When it comes, that's when they call number 28 out there and get him rolling.
Yeah, he's also the closer. If Florida A&M has a lead late in the ball game, you can expect to see Jalen McLeod in the backfield just banging out the yardage. But now we have a big 3rd down, make it 3rd and 4 for the Rattlers. He fakes it to McLeod, rolls to his right, throws underneath, and it's complete, but not much room right there for Jeremiah Pruitt as he hauled it in. So now we're going to have a 4th down.
You're going to have another field goal attempt, what we're going to have.
Let's see. Pruitt. Big stop by Chase Foster. And so out goes McKay, and in will come Romo Martinez. An opportunity for the Rattlers to push that lead up to 6.
McKay is really careful with the ball. And that's what you want. You want your quarterback to make sure he's not going to give away a possession.
So a 29-yard field goal attempt from Romo Martinez, and he splits the uprights. So this was another player that Coach couldn't help but smile about when he talked about him. And he talked about this guy's leg and how strong his leg really was. And he said he has no problem sending him out there to let him attempt a 55-yard field goal. And I did ask him, I said, are you serious? He said, I am totally serious. You know, of course, he's also punting tonight because Chris Fadul, their All-American punter, is out for the season. Well, let's look around the SWAC right now. Our scoreboard brought to you by USAA. We had some exciting games. Bethune-Cookman knocking off Alcorn State 35-31. Mississippi Valley losing to Alabama A&M 42-14. It was Jackson State over Texas Southern 41-21. That game at one point was 21-21. And Arkansas Pine Bluff rallied to knock off Grambling 33-26. And then this Prairie View avoided an upset because they were trailing most of that game, and the Panthers rallied to beat Alabama State 24-20. That one had huge implications on the standings.
Yeah, Panthers, I'll tell you what, when you get those kind of wins like that, usually those are some of the better wins, not just because you got the win, but because you can go back there in a learning moment to move forward.
So the kickoff goes deep, and the Jags will bring it back. Whitfield on the return, has a little crease, helmets on the field. Man, they're flying all over the place. That helmet went like 20 yards away from the guy who had it on. So there's some hard hitting going on out there on the field. We have 4:34 to go here in the third quarter as the Jags get set to take over on offense.
Yeah, we may have to introduce him to a chin strap, how to attach it. The way that thing flew out of there like a slingshot. Look at big number 90 in there. Every time he's in there, and again, you can see from his size, again, Richard Summers, 6'2", 345 pounds, redshirt junior from Tallahassee. Watch him inside working. He is just clogging it up, and they're double teaming him wherever he's at.
The handoff goes to Devon Ben. And before the gang tackle occurs, Ben works his way upfield for about 5 or 6. A good start to the drive for the Jaguars. Yeah, like the PA announcer said, a host of defenders brought him down. He's 100% right. There was like 4 white jerseys right there. So to give to Ben again, what a great move from the line of scrimmage. And Devon Ben picks up a first down for the Jaguars.
Yeah, you said it on the call, Butch. I mean, just a great move. And again, right there, shake and bake outside, and then back inside. Get that little extra yards there.
So Ben's going to make it 3 carries in a row, and that time he's not going to get too far. Nice job by the defense.
Yeah, that play right there would have been a nice play action. You're getting so much success. Ride him really hard and see if you can't spring one.
2nd and 7 coming up for the Jags. This time the gift is to Von Ben, and he did not fool anybody. Brandon Hinton, on the tackle right there for his Lovey Jenkins coming on to make the tackle, and he was not fooled. He's a transfer from Louisville. A big play by Lovey Jenkins.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 plays in a row to Ben. I mean, your defense at some point is just going to start to zero in, and they're going, well, one thing's going to happen. Ben's not going to beat us, and that's exactly what they've done.
An empty backfield now for Bubba McDaniel. 3rd and 7. Good snap. Pressure's coming, but McDaniel is going to keep it. He needs 7, still on his feet. And you can see the Rattlers don't believe that he got to the sticks. And he's going to come up short, so that will bring up a 4th down for the Jags.
Yeah, I think he came up just a yard short. He was 1 step away from being able to get there, 4th and 3, so he was shorter than I thought.
Well, it looked for a second that he might have enough room to squeeze it out, but Florida A&M did a great job of reacting to the football. So that will send Jamarie Shareed back to return the punt.
I'll tell you, for Southern, these punts have been really exploratory, if you will.
Fontenot gets another one up. Shareed tracks it down, called for the fair catch, but a nice job squeezing that football.
And that was one of the better punts, right? I mean, I thought they blocked that better, and he got a good foot on it.
You know, just to tell you, you've been talking about how good an athlete Jamarie Shareed is. Just 2 weeks ago, he had 229 all-purpose yards in a win over Mississippi Valley. I mean, it was an incredible game. He scored 4 touchdowns. He even returned a punt for a touchdown. It was just an incredible individual performance in that game. And they actually trailed, so they had to hustle up to catch up and nip Mississippi Valley late in that ball game.
Yeah, that when you get that kind of yards all-purpose, that means you're doing whatever your team needs, and that's what you love to see. A guy will just step up and play whatever position you need.
Well, you can just punch him in anywhere. So 1st down for the Rattlers. They put Smith in motion. The give is to Jennings. And, boy, that offensive line is starting to open some holes now for the Rattlers.
Yeah, good execution here. And, again, what was interesting, the motion went to that side, and then so did the ball. Usually you would counter the motion and go the opposite way, but they actually ran to the same side as your motion.
2nd and 3 to go for the Rattlers after that run by Terrell Jennings. And there's some movement up front. The official flag goes down. It'll be illegal procedure against the Rattlers.
It looks like number 76.
76, Cameron Colvin. You know, this is, he was talking about the confidence of the offensive line. And he said, boy, if it turns into that kind of game, we have so much confidence in these guys being able to go out there and open those holes. And you could tell Cameron might have been a little bit anxious on that play. So that will make it 2nd and 8 after the penalty. McKay's going to toss it. He has some pressure in his face. Ball goes straight up in the air, and it's going to end up being an incompleted pass, but that was very dangerous.
Is that Tyron Nash?
Yes, sir.
Tyron Nash up the middle. Again, he has had look at that swim move he puts right on there. It gets right in his face and right on that arm. That's dangerous.
That's why you do the drills.
Yeah.
You do the drills every single day. You get in the game. It's just instinctive.
Jordan Lewis is in there now for the Jags. He's kind of been playing a little spot duty in there.
Big down for the Rattlers, though.
And watch him down below. He looks like a track star the way
he's getting ready to go. Just waiting for the gun. Movement up front again, but they look to the sideline for the play. We have 45 seconds to go here in the third, and a big 3rd down for the Rattlers. 3rd and 8. McKay hangs in there, and the pass is incomplete. He threw it in the direction of Chad Hunter, but the ball was low and behind Hunter, so the Rattlers will have to punt the ball back to the Jags.
One of our keys was getting pressure on McKay, right? And while it hasn't been all the time, in key moments they have been able to put pressure on him in key plays and key moments. And so it's been effective enough. And again, the Rattlers' offense, as you mentioned when the start of this drive, is their offense really started looking really good for the last 2 drives, and the Jaguars get a big stop here.
Romo Martinez to punt it away. Carries deep, nice kick. Fair caught by Whitfield. So the Jags will get it back, trailing by in the ball game by 6, and they'll have excellent field position to start this drive.
Yeah, I mean, I was just going to say that, Butch. I mean, you get the ball now, you've got great field position. Now's the time for that offense to go out there and create something, get back on top of this game.
As Southern gets the ball, we will see number 0 back on defense for the Rattlers. And we talked about it before. He was ejected last week, but because it was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, there's no suspension that accompanies it. So he's able to play today. Land with the pressure as he dumps it off to Nelson, and Nelson gets what he can before he steps out of bounds. But once again, it was Isaiah Land putting some heat on the quarterback.
I tell you, Craig Nelson is really just shining today. I mean, just some of his subtle moves. He's been effective and a positive yardage every time he touches the ball.
Give to Nelson again. Dives over the 40, does Craig Nelson.
Again, that right there could have easily been a negative play, and he still got something out of it.
Got something out of it, and that takes us to the end of the 3rd quarter with the Rattlers still out in front. But the Southern Jaguars have the football, and they are on the move, and the Southern band is getting very... Welcome back, everyone, as we get set to start the 4th quarter. So far, Bubba McDaniel has gone all the way at quarterback for the Southern Jags, completing 15 of 27 for 153 yards. Most of those, though, went to Craig Nelson out of the backfield.
Yeah, Nelson, 74 yards receiving. And how about this? Tessa's in another 26 rushing, so 100 total yards for him. And Nelson has been electric with the ball.
Yeah, he's been the 3rd back in the ball game tonight, so that's how deep the Jags are in the backfield. So the pass from McDaniel to McLean is complete, good for about 4 or 5 yards near the sideline. So it is a first down to McLean.
Do that on a rope right
there.
He
did a good job. Nice route. Got enough for the first down. McDaniel goes back to what looked like the same play again, but a quick reaction on defense by number 4, Kendall Bowler.
I was a little nervous there that McLean would have hurt his knee there. It looks like his knee kind of hyperextended there a little bit, but he jumped right back up. He's fine.
McLean, the transfer from Auburn, trying to get involved in the mix now. McDaniel's going to pass again, and he runs out of time, but he could not escape the pressure. Stepped up and almost got away, but you could see there were just too many white jerseys to block that time in the backfield.
Yeah, one of those guys, big number 98, Stanley Mentor, he was in there 320, 6'2". And again, just churning. I think what you're seeing here defensively in this half is both defensives are just churning and won't stop, and they're not letting the offenses execute.
McDaniel dumps it off. Devon Ben forgot the football. It's an incompleted pass. You know, it's like our producer Brian Duvall said, both these teams have done a great job with their defensive adjustments at the halftime.
Yeah, no question. And again, the adjustments and obviously the pep to look at 92 just fighting inside there. And again, that's what you're seeing a ton of is the defense is just really giving tons of energy. I mean, again, it's just stopping the execution of the offense.
Darius Fagan on the coverage for the Rattlers. So Southern will have to punt the football away on 4th and 6. Oh, it goes over Fontenot's head. The ball is rolling around inside the 20. Fontenot tries to kick it. That didn't help much. Still on the ground, picked up by Bowler. Bowler is pulled down at the 4-yard line. So a horrible snap sails high over Fontenot's head. There's a mad scramble for it. Fontenot looked a little bit like that old Gerald Yepremian in the Miami Dolphins way back days.
Yeah.
The ball is rolling around and finally picked up by Kendall Bowler.
Yeah, I mean, that ball sailed way over the top of his head. I think he's going to learn next time you just get on the ball. Don't try to kick it like that. At least you drop the ball. Instead, you wind up giving them the ball deeper. Yeah, it was actually, he put a good foot on it for what was happening. He probably played soccer, I guess, today.
Well, a flag came down, and it might have been on the kick. Yep. That's right. So that's going to set the Rattlers up in great position. So right when you thought this game was going back and forth, a huge mistake just turns it around on its head, and all of a sudden the Rattlers with the football inside the 5. Yeah. Actually on the 3-yard line.
And this is where you're going to see a cloud of dust.
Might be a good situation for him. In the backfield is Jennings, though, who's also a power runner. And the give is to the big guy, though, McLeod.
Yeah, they lined him up.
And the ball is out. And Southern say they came up with the football. So the ball is stripped away from McLeod. And the Jags say they have it.
One ref says he's down, though. Hang on a second.
I mean, we've seen so much in this ball game.
Looks like big number 70 actually recovered that ball.
What a nice recovery. Jay Jackson Williams.
Yeah, I can't see where that ball comes out, but.
Well, that's just a good job of yanking that thing out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's all that was. Cameron Sapp now in at quarterback for the Rattlers. When he comes in, look for the Wildcat. So look for some type of run, and there he goes. Sapp got it down to the 1. Ball pops out again into the end zone, and the Jaguars recover. And let's see what the officials say. Will they give it to Southern? Robert Rim came out with the football, number 14.
How crazy is this game? I mean, the turnovers and just the odd plays have really just had so much energy in here.
So Sapp is going to be ruled down by contact before he reached out with the football.
I'm not sure. He was sitting on another player, so I don't know if he ever touched the ground. Yeah, he did not touch the ground. So
Sapp leaves, and back comes McKay for 3rd down and goal to go for the Rattlers. So they're going to take a look at it and see.
Yeah,
this is a huge call in this ball game at this point, and I know it's 11 minutes to go, but
there's 2 things to look for on this particular play, right? So for one, was he actually down, right? And I don't think he was, as far as he was sitting on another player, so I don't think he ever touched the ground. But he's also extending the ball at that time. Did that ball extend across the end zone as he was fumbling it, right? As that ball got loose. Watch, right here, boom, he's on a player, and then he reaches out before he falls. Did that ball go over the end zone and cross the plane for a touchdown?
You know, they're reviewing this to see if he was down, but you're right. If he's not down, it could be a touchdown for the Rattlers if the football crossed the plane.
Right. I mean, I don't think that ball – look, see, he comes down on the line with the ball. And if he's on another player, that's a touchdown. I mean, if you kind of put those two together, it looks to me like when he extends, he's on the other player. When he extends out, that ball crosses that plane.
Well, it did not take long for Y.N. Myers and company to sort it out.
Wow. Maybe I've got some vision issues. But his legs are not on the ground. He's on a player, extends. You see the ball over the white line.
Well, the ball wasn't kicked out until he
went down.
really down. Yes, that's when the ball was kicked out. So the fumble. And we're back live. Apparently there was a penalty on the last play. So they gave him another shot, and they were stopped again. Just an incredible job by this Southern defense tonight.
And how do you stop a train twice? And they do it. You do it by not letting them get that train get rolling, and that's what he did. And again, the part of that timing mess up there was the snap.
So now they're going to get another shot at it. So that was offsides on the defense. So that will give the Rattlers another shot at it from right on the goal line. You know, that last play didn't succeed because the snap was bad. Right. And McKay bobbled the snap. And that it threw off the timing of the play. Right. So now, here we go again.
Yeah, it went high.
No, they're not even considering the field goal. They're sending the big guys back out there again. Field goal would give you a 9-point lead, then you'd be up by 2 scores. But they're just trying to drive home a message here as the Rattlers of Coach Willie Simmons now have it 4th and goal to go again. McKay at quarterback. He has McLeod, gives it to McLeod, and the big guy just dives into the end zone for the touchdown. But what an effort by that Southern University defense. I mean, my goodness, they played tough up front. So now it looks like they may go for 2 here.
I think when McLeod went in there, he was just relieved they didn't have to do the play again. This is like a bad drill in practice where you have to keep doing over it again, you know, where the coach stops it and says, let's do it again, let's run it again, let's run it again. That's what that was. And Southern, you're right, the Jaguars held up each time except for that last one.
Well, you run it until you get it right. And that time, Jalen McLeod got it right as big number 28 flew into the end zone. And now some discussion on the field. Cameron Sapp is back at quarterback. We mentioned before when he's in the game, it usually means look out for the Wildcat set. The ball will be placed on the 3 as they go for 2 points here. A lot of discussions going on with Shareed. Maybe they come back with the zone read. Let's check it out. Cameron Sapp, there it is, fakes the zone read, fakes the, and he passes lead into the end zone. So he faked the jet sweep to Shareed and throws high into the end zone, so the 2-point conversion is no good. 29-17, Rattlers out in front. Like 50.
Well, if you're on the defensive line or linebackers interior, I guarantee it felt like 50. Yeah. They did an absolute job battling the whole time. Just couldn't hold it at the end.
You know what I liked about that? Coach Willie Simmons did not hesitate one bit. He was going to go for that touchdown. He was determined. And the Rattlers come away with 6 points. So the kick drives Whitfield back, all the way back to the 2. Fumble the ball, picked it up. Now some room for Whitfield as he gets it out of bounds around the 26-yard line, but there is a flag on the field. A couple of flags now. Some jawing going on the sidelines, and the flags are flying all over the place.
Yeah, special teams, each team on special teams, it's been kind of ridiculous of all the extracurricular stuff going on. And, you know, you got to get a handle on that. You got to be disciplined. I think it's going to be offsetting because I think those last flags were for 2 guys mixing it up.
Going to be offside on the kicking team for 1. And they're talking to Jason Rollins now. He may make him kick it again.
Yeah. Looks like there was a
Wow. So you have the offsides on the kicking team, and then the personal foul, which happened right there on the sidelines. So they added the 5 yards to the end of the run, and then you tack on the personal foul.
Yeah, and that's just, like I said, those are just,
wow.
We used to call them bonehead plays, but just you can't do that. You can't do that. You got to keep your discipline.
So all of a sudden, the Jaguars start from midfield. McDaniel lost it down the field, and he had Craig Nelson wide open again. He missed him earlier in the ball game, and once again, they can't connect.
Wow, he is wide open coming out of that backfield. Look at him, and just when you get him on a linebacker, look how much distance he gets.
That's one of those plays where you have to just put that football on the receiver. When he's that open, you don't worry about leading a guy in that situation, and that is twice that has happened in this game. So Jason Rollins is right there saying we were that close. McDaniel running the option, ball on the ground again, and Devon Ben showing some good hands. You were in good hands with Ben on that play, because once again that ball bouncing all over the place, but the Jags managed to fall on it.
Tell you what, now they're in a big 3rd and 10 though. And again, right there, the pitch was there, just he couldn't handle it first, but then was able to, like you said, get his hands on it when it hit the ground.
Lovie Jenkins in to make the big stop on Ben. Some movement up front. McDaniel, no flags. McDaniel fires, has a man open again, and he could not come up with the catch. The pass was low. Ethan Howard goes down for it, but he couldn't hang on. It was thrown low and behind him, and he couldn't make the catch.
Yeah, I thought they may have gotten an offsides on the Rattlers, but didn't call. You said that on the call, but it was a catchable ball. Certainly could have been thrown a little bit better, but you certainly wanted him to get this catch, and now you got these punts have all been exciting.
Well, McDaniel had 2 opportunities there to convert the first down, one on the missed touchdown opportunity, and then that pass to Ethan Howard coming across the middle, who was pretty open. Good snap this time. Fontenot gets it away. Kick is going to bounce short and go out of bounds right at the 15-yard line. That is where the Rattlers will take over with a 12-point lead. We'll be right back.
Nation, it's all the way live. Southern University Athletics presents the Overtime Coaches Show. A closer look at Jaguar Athletics with Athletics Director Roman Banks and hosted by Chris Rose. Live taping at 6:30 from TJ Ribs Restaurant on Acadian Thruway. Airing on Pelican Broadcasting Channel 20 at 9 p.m. Join us for the taping and take advantage of the great specials.
The Rattlers have the football and a 12-point lead. We have 9:29 to go in the fourth quarter, and the officials aren't quite ready yet. Now they are, as they get set to hike the football after the whistles go off. Bonnet is in the backfield. He takes the handoff, disappears in the inside of that line, and then he's thrown back into the backfield. And the Jaguars are still fired up on defense. Number 91, Latrell Johnson, one of the Jags there on the stop.
I was going to say, you're going to see real quickly how these Jaguars respond. I was a little bit nervous coming out on this defensive series. Would they be exhausted and feel like they got cheated on the touchdown there, or will they come out and fight even more? And right now, at least in that first play, you can tell they're still intense and they're ready to roll.
Came out with a big play, only a yard on that run. So it's 2nd and 9. The give is to Bonnet again, and they shut the door on him also. That time it's Jordan Lewis on the stop.
There's a player down right now, but Lewis played some spot duty here today. But in key downs, they've been bringing him in. Again, I'd imagine he'd stay out there for a big 3rd and 9.
That was a huge play by Jordan Lewis there to make the stop. And I guess the question is, will the Rattlers put the ball up with 8:33 to go in the game? That's Bishop Bonnet, and it's the 2nd time he's been shaken up in this ball game.
If you're a Rattler fan, you sure don't want to see that. And again, I guess right here, you'd want him in the background for the backfield for this type of play for sure, because you'd have run expectations and you could dump the ball down to him.
He's come up with some really big plays in this game. So 3rd and 9. Southern trying to get the football back. They trail by 12. Terrell Jennings in the backfield now to McKay's right. He sends Smith in motion, gives to Jennings. Jennings has an opening, and he almost broke that. He comes away with about 5 yards, but he almost broke up for a bigger gain.
And again, you saw him at the end of that play. He was wishing he could have just kept his balance there for a few extra yards. And again, big stop by the Jaguars defense, and now the offense will get a chance to come on out there. I would be surprised if you saw some, well, it doesn't look like they're going to do it, but I would have thought right now would be a good time to pressure that punter.
Romo Martinez on to kick the football away. Good pressure coming through. Hangs it high. Whitfield makes the fair catch. It is done around the 41-yard line. 7:33 to go. Rattlers up by 12. We'll be right back. As we go 1st and 10 for the Jags. Inside a pass to Washington. Not much there, but he does make the catch.
The tackle made by number 3.
We take another look.
I'm baffled on the question there. So both from Louisiana?
Well, if we go 2nd down, I'll clear it up in just a second. McDaniel fires again, and he's just a little bit off target. Was trying to hit Khalif Gossett over there. And now it's going to bring up a big 3rd down. Pass just outside of his reach.
You know what? If it had been inside of his reach, though, it may have been an interception, though. So that's where he was throwing it, where the defender couldn't get to it.
He had to throw it. So a big 3rd down for the Jaguars. 3rd and about 5. Wide open is McLean. He has it, and he also has the 1st down. On the other side, as Levy Jenkins tried to rip the football away, but it's a 1st down. So you give up?
I give up.
We both went and played at McNeese State University.
Ah, there you go.
Not at the same time. So a big 1st down for the Jaguars, and another completed pass to Ethan Howard this time. And Howard is pushed out of bounds after he picked up about 4.
Well, my only other guess, I was going to say he was at Opelousas Catholic with him, but maybe not, huh?
So you see McLean coming wide to the left. He's had a lot of success throwing to McLean, who's a really big receiver, the transfer from Auburn. 2nd and 8 now for the Jags. Good protection from McDaniel, and he completes the pass. Found Whitfield on the play, a nice catch by number 85, Chandler Whitfield.
And McDaniel, the success of that play is the offensive line kind of cleared him a room right there. Watch him step up and be able to throw. When you're able to step up into that ball, it really gives you more accuracy because you're almost able to, really point forward and just throw that ball right at your target. And you can tell it was just a great throw. But again, the offensive line, give them credit for clearing out that middle.
So you see McDaniel over there on the sidelines, and this is a huge drive for Southern. With 5:57 to go in the ball game, they trail by 12. If they can put a touchdown on the board here, we got a whole brand new ball game. We do have an injury on the field, though, so we have a timeout, and but he's getting up and walking off, so that's always a good sign.
It sure is, and again, it gives the Jaguars a moment to kind of collect over here and talk about their strategy. This is a big drive for them, right? You got 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, you're down, and again, they've got to get some kind of points for sure, and really they got to get a touchdown here, and they're going to collect themselves, go through their strategy, kind of talk to the players about what they think is going to work.
That is Gentle Hunt, the freshman. 5'11", 290 pounds, being helped off the field there. And you know what? Coach Simmons could not speak highly enough about that young man. He thinks he's going to be a tremendous player. He's just a freshman. So it's good to see him going off with a little help there.
Yeah.
Moving pretty good.
We'll see him back out there, I'm guessing.
We're back to 2nd and 13 here with Craig Nelson in the backfield. To McDaniel's right. He goes quickly to Nelson, and it's an incompleted pass.
He didn't give Nelson an opportunity, and really he had time. He threw that ball way before he needed to. And again, Isaiah Land is the guy coming off the corner on that side. And I think he's got him. He sees that 3-1, and he just gets a little bit nervous because Land is just, like I said earlier in the game, he just keeps coming.
Land is renting space in the backfield tonight. He's been very close to McDaniel on almost every pass play. Pressure again, and McDaniel gets away. Great job. He didn't complete the pass, but what a great job by McDaniel to avoid the sack.
Yeah, and Land has just got some really good moves, and he just uses speed there and then just jumps inside and accelerates. But again, you're right, McDaniel has done a great job avoiding him. If McDaniel wasn't so good at avoiding him, I think Land would probably already have 3 or 4 sacks.
4th and 13, and the Jags are going to go. They're down by 12. So Coach feels like they have to convert here. Jason Rollins is going to go for it all. 4th and 13 to go for the first down. Empty backfield for McDaniel. He has to step up away from the rush. Rolling to the right side, puts it up, and he did not give his receiver a chance. You have to keep that ball in bounds in that situation. It's 4th down. So it's an incompleted pass. He threw it in the direction of Marquise McLean. We're going to take a timeout now with the Rattlers out in front, 29-17. But also, Southern is trying to tackle the football now, so that makes him even tougher to bring down.
Yeah, you can't just go ball tackling after him. You've got to get him and just worry about tackling him, and as he's going down, try to rip it. Because if you're going ball first, you're giving up 8 yards a chunk easy.
Cameron Sapp back in the game at quarterback. He's had a couple appearances on the goal line, almost scored a touchdown. Instead, McLeod ended up with it. So Sapp turns and hands to McLeod again. And somebody grabbed the face mask there, but I don't think the officials had it. It looked like Anderson may have gotten him around the face mask. No flag, and McLeod will leave the ball game. So right now, you can see the Rattlers trying to work off some of that clock, and Cameron Sapp stays on the field. You know, Coach told us they love to use him in wildcat situation, but now they're trying to work on the clock with 4:10 and counting. So Sapp is in the backfield at quarterback.
He's going to come here to the wide side here.
Runs the zone read, gives it to Bonnet. Bonnet goes around the left side and picks up the first down. The little guy he turned the corner and then he turned on the jets, and that's a first down for the Rattlers.
How Bonnet found room on the short side of the field like that. And again, the defense stretched it out till right at that edge, and right at the edge, he found room. Boom, so he just gets right around that corner.
First down from the 25.
Well, you said it earlier in the game. He does a great job of setting the defenders up. He does that little dip inside. And in that case, he helped his blockers seal that edge for him, and then he turned the corner and picked up a first down.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to follow what he's doing. He leans. You think he's going to cut in early, so you just kind of adjust, and it helps you get blocked.
Sapp gives to Bonnet again. He's loose again. And the little fella goes down the sidelines and almost tiptoed into the end zone before he's pushed out of bounds. Inside the 10, maybe at the 5. We'll see where they mark him. It's going to be marked out of bounds on the 5, but Bishop Bonnet coming up with 2 big runs down the stretch.
Yeah, put him over 100 yards rushing for the day. And again, he's been incredibly effective. Just about 6 yards a carry. That's impressive.
Well, he's been huge on this drive.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they started with McLeod going up the middle with a huge power run, and you come right back. You offset that with a little bit of the speed and acceleration of Bonnet. So 1st and goal to go for the Rattlers. Bonnet again, and look at the patience as he weaves his way inside. Does a great job. There was nothing there at all, but he tap danced around a little bit and managed to pick up 1 or 2 yards.
Again, this guy's 5'7", 175 pounds.
They bring him down at the 5-yard line, 2nd down.
In the land of the Giants.
Yeah, they give him a yard on that play, but what was so impressive about that was it could have been a -3, and he turned it into a +1.
No question. And again, this is disheartening for the Jaguars here because the time's ticking, and you also have them on your 5-yard line, 2nd and goal, and it's tough.
2nd and goal to go. Cameron Sapp in at quarterback for the Rattlers. Turns and he gives to McLeod, and McLeod takes it down to the 2. He had big number 93 hanging on for dear life there for the Jaguars. 93 is Austin Kent.
Gets it down to the 2.
Yeah, McLeod's got some hard running. No question about it. 29 yards on the day, 3.2. And Bonnet, 16 carries, 108 yards, 6.6 a carry.
He's had a tough night, man. He showed just how tough he is, and Coach talked about that leg drive, but he was also shaken up a couple of times, and you can't keep the little guy out of the ball game.
No.
He kept going back, and now he's over 100 yards, and it's the 3rd and goal situation for the Rattlers. And the give is to McLeod, and he couldn't push his way in there. He's going to be stopped right at the 1-yard line. Sapp did make the handoff, but McLeod could not power his way into the end zone.
Yeah, as I look at the stats, what's surprising to me, it just didn't feel this way anyway, is that the Rattlers have 149 yards rushing to the Jaguars' 59.
And the clock continues to roll. We're down to 30 seconds in this one.
And they have to run one more play. So they're going to run towards the end zone here. I mean,
4th and goal for the Rattlers. Gives to the big guy, and he stumbles, and he does not make it. So the Jaguars turn him away with 9 seconds to go in the ball game. He gave it to McLeod, and McLeod appeared to slip just a little bit right as he went down into the line, and that was enough for the Jaguars to respond. But they come up with a goal line stop there, got something out of it, some pride at the end of the ball game.
Yep. Now, this was a absolutely well-played football game on both sides. I thought both offensive lines did what they came out to do. I mean, you look at some quick stats for you. You know, rushing yards, like I just mentioned, 150 yards for the Rattlers, 59 for the Jaguars. I didn't think it seemed closer to that to me. But the passing yards, 231 to 183 again, the Rattlers on that side of it. So total yards, 381 for the Rattlers, 242 for the Jaguars. But an absolutely well-played football game, and it's tough for the to be a Jaguars fan.
Yeah, and you know what? Tonight, a big win by the Rattlers. It also keeps Jackson State from clinching the title. And as Devon Ben coming out of the backfield, ripping off a big run, he's going to step out. We're still going to have 2 seconds to go. But the significance of the win tonight for the Rattlers means that the win by Jackson State will not allow them to clinch the Eastern Division. So there's still hope for Willie Simmons and the Rattlers as we play on in the rest of the SWAC season.
Yeah, but the Jaguars can be proud of tonight's performance, and the Rattlers did exactly what they needed to do. Came in here, keep all their goals in place with a win today.
So Devon Ben is loose and into the secondary, and that will end the ball game. Give me some of your final thoughts on this one, because we saw a really well-played first half, and then it looked like the defense team, both defenses, took over in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that throughout it. I think both defenses did great adjustments. They put the intensity up a notch. And again, I thought it was a greatly contested game. And the Jaguars, they feel like there was a few plays they left on the table. I know that goal line stand that took them 9 plays or 8 plays, and the Rattlers did finally get in. That kind of turned the course and kind of sealed the game. It took a little bit of the air out of them, but man, they played for 4 full quarters. Didn't give up. It was